Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm continuing with my David Bowie discography journey, and we are taking a brief pit stop at Tin Machine. Now, Tin Machine was a British-American hard rock supergroup formed in 1988, notable for being fronted by David Bowie. The band consists of David on lead vocals, sax, and guitar, Reeves Gabriels on guitar and vocals, Tony Fox Sales on bass and vocals, and Hunt Sales on drums and vocals. Now, I had no idea this group even existed until a few of you let me know in my prior David Bowie videos that yes, indeed, they do exist, so thank you for that. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even have known about this band at all. Now, the 80s was a difficult period for David and his music. It was a difficult transition, and it was a difficult period for him to navigate. Now, his album Never Let Me Down from 1987 had left critics unimpressed and eager to return to making music for himself rather than the mainstream audience he had acquired following the Let's Dance album. David looked around for collaborators to work with. Now, David stated that he and the band members of Tin Machine joined up to make the kind of music that they enjoyed listening to and to also rejuvenate David Bowie artistically. And David would later credit his time with Tin Machine as instrumental in rejuvenating his career from the 1980s. So it looks like this was a big turning point in David Bowie's career, a nice bridge between the 80s and 90s, Never Let Me Down, and also Black Tie, White Noise from 1993. I was initially going to listen to this album after I finished my David Bowie solo discography journey, but you guys convinced me to listen to it right now after Never Let Me Down. And honestly, thank you, because it makes a lot more sense to do it this way. It also makes sense for me to listen to this album now rather than later because of the artistic growth of David Bowie that happened during this time period, the bridge between Never Let Me Down and Black Tie, White Noise. So for me to skip over this album and get right into Black Tie, White Noise, I feel like wouldn't be right, because this was a very important time in David Bowie's career and life. Now, Tin Machine did release 2 albums from 1989 and 1991, so depending on how this video goes, I will also do a video for their follow-up album, Tin Machine 2. And that's pretty much all I have to say at the moment. Let's delve into the album Tin Machine from 1989, and there are 14 songs. The album is 57 minutes, and I haven't heard any of these songs before. I don't even know what they sound like, so this is going to be a nice surprise for me. But anyway, let's get into it with track 1, Heaven's in Here. Oh my god. that honestly, that was wild. It was so chaotic, and oh The overall production on this track was just out of this world. It was remarkable for me anyway, and I was shook. I really was. The overall instrumental on this track was just, it was explosive, it was ecstasy, it was ear candy, it was really remarkable. Now, I haven't listened to much hard rock in my lifetime, so I'm not too familiar with it. So maybe I'm overreacting to this song, but this is music I typically never listen to, so this was an amazing surprise. I do have to remind myself as to who plays which instrument in this band because they're amazing. They really are. And Reeves Gabriels is on guitar. He also does the vocals alongside David. Tony Fox Sales is on bass and also does vocals. And Hunt Sales is on drums and vocals also. So the drums and the guitar work on this track just blew me away. Baby, I dream between the blade and the tongue of the rose on your cheek, the wounded and dumb. We stumble and fall, skin on skin, but there's heaven in here. Heavens in here, among the twilight and stars, like a rocket to Mars. Heaven in here. He also says, heaven lies between your marbled thighs, the rustle of your falling gown. We stumble and fall like tragedy falls. We stumble and twirl, there's heaven in here. You'll dance to my tongue, we'll dance on the sun. So obviously this song is about sex. I didn't really know what to make of this song initially, the first minute or so. But then towards the middle, and then the end, I grew to really love this song, and I would listen to it again. Definitely much different from a lot of David's most recent work from the 80s. But anyway, let's move on to track 2, Tin Machine. What am I listening to? I am absolutely shook to my core. What is this? I'm having a lot of fun. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into when I sat down to record this video, but I'm pleasantly surprised. The production on this album so far is absolute fire. The instrumental, the guitar work, the drums, David's vocals as well, and the lyrics are also quite fun to read. Take me anywhere, somewhere without alcohol or goons with muddy hair, Tin Machine, the zombies that I pass, the guy that beats his baby up, the preachers and their past. Raging, burning in my room. Come on and get a good idea. I'm waiting on the fire escape. I'm not exactly well. I'm neither red nor black nor white. I'm gray and blown to hell. What? One sick, deathless duty to remain. Endangered species, they reach right out to touch someone, then wash their crusty hands. These definitely sound like David Bowie lyrics. When describing the band's approach to the music they created on this album, Tony Fox Sales said, "We were so sick of turning on the radio and hearing disco and dance music and drum machines, all that stuff, which I think in the business they all call crap. We were just thinking about doing a project that would put an end to rock and roll. Overall, this is another song I quite enjoyed, and I would listen to it again just for the production alone. But anyway, let's move on to track 3, Prisoner of Love. I like that part. And that was track 3, Prisoner of Love. And this is another song I enjoyed. This reminds me of old David Bowie. Not 80s David Bowie, but old David Bowie. But there's also something very new and fresh and modern about it. And just like the prior 2 tracks, I absolutely adore the guitar work and the drums as well. Don't look back, whatever it takes to save your life. I've believed I belonged to you for a long time, and my heart says no, no one but you. I'm such a hungry man that I beg you over and over and over and over, and I might take any highway to be there with you. Even the best men shiver in their beds. I'm loving you above everything I have. I'm a prisoner of love. Just stay square. I really am enjoying the lyrics on this album. I'm liking the overall aesthetic of this album so far. I've seen the best minds of my generation laid out in cemeteries and crematories. Just take care. I will say there is something quite dark and ominous about some of these lyrics, not just this song, but all the lyrics I've read so far. I smell the sickness sowed in this city. It drives me to hide you. Yeah, even deceive you. I'm so afraid for you that I'll break any thug that maps out your passage to ruin. I find the lyrics on this album to be quite complex and intriguing and just traditional David Bowie. And once again, there is construction happening outside my apartment right now, so I do apologize if you hear annoying noise in the background. David Bowie claimed at the time that he wrote this song for his then partner Melissa Hurley. It reads as worldly advice from the singer to his naive younger girlfriend. But anyway, let's move on to track 4, Crack City. That was track 4, Crack City, another intriguing song on the album that I enjoyed listening to. I do think this is a very consistent album so far. I am a bit perplexed when it comes to the lyrics of the song. Oh, come all you children, don't grab that scabby hand. It belongs to Mr. Sniff and Tell. It belongs to the candy man. Don't whore your little bodies to the worms of paradise. Like Everest, it's fatal. Its peaks are cold as ice. This is another dark song on the album. He's obviously touching on, I imagine, drug use, obviously Crack City, but also prostitution and alcohol and death and violence and yeah. Corrupt and shaky visions and crack and coke and alcohol. You're just a bunch of assholes with buttholes for brains. A lot of talk of stink and rot and nightmares and worms and death rip your flesh. So it's a little bit of an ugly song to read lyrically. I'm riding on the subway down to hell. I've finished with this journey, I seem to know it well. Gonna hit Crack City, hit Crack City. This isn't one of my favorite tracks on the album, but I did find it intriguing enough that I would listen to it again. But let's move on to track 5, I Can't Read. That was track 5, I Can't Read. Another very interesting song on the album. This reminds me of old David Bowie from the 70s. His personality, his vocals on the track, a little bizarre, I won't lie. And I liked it. I don't think this would be a song I would listen to all the time, but I did like listening to it for the first time. I can't read and I can't write down. I don't know a book from Countdown. I don't care when shadow gets me. All I've got is someone's face. Money goes to money heaven. Bodies go to body hell. I just cough, catch the chase, switch the channel, watch the police car. He also says, I can't read shit anymore. I just sit back and ignore. I just can't get it right. There was also some strange moaning towards the end of the song. David was like, oh. I don't know why he can't read and can't write down. Maybe he's under the influence. Maybe he's high or drunk, intoxicated, whatever. Or maybe he's touching on illiteracy, perhaps. I think that might be too obvious. I can't read, obviously. Illiteracy, I don't know. Or, I don't know, maybe he's just intoxicated. I really don't know. I am looking at some of the reviews for this album, and it does look like the album received mixed reviews. I don't know, I'm quite enjoying the album, and like I said already at the beginning of this video, I'm not too familiar with hard rock music in general, so to me, this is a very exciting album to listen to. My only critique of the album so far is how some of these songs tend to keep dragging on longer than they need to. But I really am enjoying the production of the album so far. I think it's fire, and I am enjoying the lyrics on this album as well. They're very strange and weird. Some social commentary. So these are typical David Bowie lyrics. But anyway, let's move on to track 6, Under the God. That was track 6, Under the God, and one thing is for sure, I am rocking out to this album hardcore, and like I said many times already, I'm just overall enjoying the production on this album so far. This isn't one of my favorite tracks on the album so far. It's probably one of my least favorites, more so because of the lyrics of the song. There is a lot of social commentary happening in this song. I don't really see myself jamming out to a song in the future with words in the song like Nazi and swastika. Skin dance back in the condo, skinheads getting to school, beating on blacks with a baseball bat, racism back in rule. So obviously he is touching on very sensitive topics like fascism and racism in general. White trash picking up Nazi flags. While you was gone, there was war. This is the West, get used to it. They put a swastika over the door. So I guess he's singing about racism and fascism in North America, the West. Washington heads in the toilet bowl don't see supremacist hate, right-wing dicks in their boiler suits picking out who to annihilate. And what's scary about this song is it's very much relatable even today because there is a lot of white supremacist behavior happening all across North America. A lot of course, racism, like always, and fascism, neo-Nazi, and you just see more stories like this in the news every week. And who does America have to thank for that? I mean, it's not only happening in America, it's also happening in Canada as well. A very powerful song on the album, but it's not typically a song I would want to listen to again, but I still find it quite intriguing. But anyway, let's move on to track 7, Amazing. And that was track 7, Amazing. And I did think this was the least intriguing song on the album. I didn't find it particularly memorable compared to a lot of the other songs. It's also, I think, the shortest song on the album, which is what I like about it. It is quite short compared to all the other tracks, but it didn't really make an impression on me. I'm lazy, you crazy girl, stay by my side. I'm scared you'll meet someone in whom you'll confide. Life's still a dream. Your love's amazing since I found you. My life's amazing. I pledge you'll never be blue. There's too much at stake to be down. So lyrically, obviously, this is the weakest song on the album, and I really don't have much to say about it. I liked the production, I suppose, but it just doesn't stand out compared to all the other tracks. So let's move on to track 8, Working Class Hero. That was track 8, Working Class Hero. And first and foremost, I do want to say that lyrically, and I guess story-wise, this song does fit in with the rest of the album. The social commentary of this track fits in with a lot of the social commentary from the other songs on the album. But unfortunately, I couldn't get into this rendition of Working Class Hero. I've only heard one other version of this song, and it wasn't John Lennon's version, it was Green Day's version. Now, Green Day's version of Working Class Hero was the version I grew up with, and their version came out in 2007, I believe. I always thought this was an original Green Day song, until recently when I discovered that it's the original John Lennon song. I don't think I've ever heard the John Lennon version, which is tragic. I didn't really like the arrangement of this version, Tin Machine's version. I couldn't get into it, and I probably wouldn't listen to it again. I feel like it lacked that emotion that I've come to know from people who have covered this song. I did like David's vocals on the song, but it didn't really do anything for me. As soon as you're born, they make you feel small by giving you no time instead of it all. Till the pain is so big, you feel nothing at all. A working class hero is something to be. They hurt you at home and they hit you at school. They hate you if you're clever and they despise a fool. Till you're so fucking crazy, you can't follow their rules. I get chills reading this song because I'm picturing John Lennon writing this song, and that's what's giving me chills. I do like listening to this song. It's not an easy song to listen to, it's not a happy song to listen to. I more so listen to this song to feel something. So going forward, I will probably keep listening to the Green Day version. And once I listen to the John Lennon version, I imagine I'll be listening to that version as well. Once I listen to it, but the Tin Machine version, I don't see myself going back to. I don't know, maybe a lot of you liked it, but it didn't really do it for me. But anyway, let's move on to track 9, A Bus Stop. That was track 9, A Bus Stop, and this is the shortest song on the album. It's under 2 minutes. And I find it ironic how earlier I said one of my critiques on the album was how some of the earlier songs dragged on a bit too long, over 4 minutes, over 5 minutes, but I just find it ironic that the shorter songs on the album are songs that I don't like. Especially this track. I found this track just utterly pointless. It didn't grab me, it didn't resonate with me, I don't really care about it in general. I'm a young man at odds with the Bible, but I don't pretend faith never works. When we're down on our knees, praying at the bus stop. Now Jesus, he came in a vision and offered you redemption from sin. I'm not saying that I don't believe you, but are you sure that it really was him? I've been told that it could have been blue cheese or the meal that we ate down the road. Hallelujah. I'm a young man at odds with the Bible, praying at the bus stop. I guess I kind of like the lyrics, but I really have nothing to say about this song. It was under 2 minutes, and it just didn't do anything for me. So let's move on to track 10, Pretty Thing.
Think about the good things.
And that was track 10, Pretty Thing. This song kind of gave me a headache. To me, it was just noise. There wasn't anything particularly memorable about it, production-wise. Even the melody, the lyrics, the vocals, it just didn't stand out to me. There weren't really any interesting twists and turns in the song. It just kept going on and on and on and on. Think about the good things, think about the bad things, think about A Reason to See You Tonight, something getting hard when you rock it up, something getting hot when you rock it up. Pretty little girl, let your sweet thing sway. Never gonna treat you wrong. Tie you down, pretend you're Madonna. Never gonna treat you wrong. This is a sexy song, lyrically, obviously. So this is another song on the album that I wouldn't listen to again. And unfortunately, I'm not really a fan of this middle part of the album. I really enjoyed the beginning of this album, but unfortunately this middle part isn't doing it for me. But let's move on to track 11, Video Crimes. That was track 11, Video Crimes, and I kind of enjoyed this song. I do prefer this track over some of the other songs I've listened to. Ain't Got Room for Charity, Me, I'm Crawling with No Cash, Me, I'm Looking for Hot Flesh, The Skeleton's Mine, Chop It Up, Blood on Video, Video Crime, Needles and Pins, and Video Crime. I've got dollars, I've got cents. Wonder where the third world went. I've got time for honeymoon, trash time Bundy, death row chic. Haunt the street from 10:30. Chop it up. Is he singing about serial killers? Late night cannibal cripples DK, just can't tear my eyes away. Video crime. I do find the lyrics of this track to be intriguing, and that was probably my favorite aspect of the song. So let's move on to track 12, Run.
Wish I was a sailor, but I can't stay too far. And I'm danger prone. And I'm without your love. I'm a cold man. Problems till you no longer care. It's a long, long life. I thought the shots of temporary.
That was track 12, Run, and just like track 11, Video Crimes, I kind of liked this song. I think I prefer the overall production on this track over the prior track, Video Crimes. And I'll run without your love. I'm a gold man, I'm a soaring tower, and it's cold in here without your love. I can't see too far with these animal eyes, can't hold my breath without your voice. I'll be bound, I'll be fast as hell without your touch. So this is, I guess, a romantic song. Under your eyes and without your voice, without your touch, without your love. So it's a loving song, I guess, when it comes to David Bowie standards and his lyrics. Let's move on to track 13, Sacrifice Yourself.
Married to a Klingon, grooming in a press. 25 years passing like an evening at the service. Don't sacrifice yourself. Sacrifice yourself. Don't sacrifice yourself. Don't sacrifice yourself. Sacrifice yourself. Bang, bang, like the child when it gets old. Don't sacrifice yourself.
That was track 13, Sacrifice Yourself. This is another short song on the album, just over 2 minutes, and I don't really have a lot to say about it. God could detonate him. God's the one we picked to curse us, and 35 years pass him like an evening at the circus. Don't sacrifice yourself. There it is, the look, the winner you once talked of being. Give her one last kiss and dive right out the window screaming. Wham, bam, thank you, Charlie. Vanity is all. I have no idea what he's singing about. It does fit in with the rest of the album, and I did like the overall production of the track. I was kind of rocking out to it, but at the same time, I still don't think there's anything particularly memorable about this track. So we have made it to the end of the album at track 14, Baby Can Dance.
Baby can
And that was track 14, Baby Can Dance. And out of all the songs I listened to on the second half of the album, I think this is one of the better ones. I quite enjoyed the production on this track. I was definitely rocking out, and I enjoyed it. Again, it's not really a song I would go back to all the time. I would maybe listen to it again. I'm the jumpy man, but baby can float, baby can drown, baby can touch her toes, toss her hair, makes you feel you're going nowhere. Baby can dance, baby can walk around the town, attract a man, and cut him down. For me anyway, I do think this is one of the better songs on the album. So that was all 14 tracks of Tin Machine by Tin Machine, and you know what? I enjoyed myself. I was a little disappointed in this album, more so with the second half of the album. I thought the beginning of the album was fire, and I absolutely enjoyed myself when it came to the overall production. Those tracks in particular, like Heavens and Here, Tin Machine, Prisoner Love, to me were so fascinating to listen to. The drums, the guitar work, and the lyrics also, David's vocals, so those tracks in particular were quite intriguing. But then towards the middle of the album, that's where the album started to lose me. Especially the shorter songs, the songs that were just over 2 minutes, under 2 minutes, those songs just didn't appeal to me. I did like the lyrics of the album, a lot of social commentary, obviously, and some loving and sexy songs as well. This is traditional David Bowie when it comes to the stories of his lyrics, quite cryptic and bizarre and strange at times. I was definitely rocking out many times during the duration of this album, bopping my head and having a great time in general. But for me anyway, I just find a lot of these songs not to be that memorable. And you know what? I think this is an improvement over some of his 80s albums, but it's not a vast improvement. It's just okay, in my opinion. And what I also like about the album is at times some of these songs and some of his vocals as well was reminding me of the old David Bowie from the 70s. I do like this project from David Bowie. I'm glad he did it. I just overall wasn't wowed by it. You know what? I was a little wowed by it, just a little, towards the beginning, the first few songs. It is a dark album at times, and it's quite noisy as well. I don't really know how David felt about the finished product of this album, but I imagine he was pleased with it. I really don't know. Maybe you guys know. So what did you guys think of the album, and what are your impressions of it? So now my question to you is, should I listen to Tin Machine 2, their second album from 1991? I am a little interested into seeing what they do with this album, but if I don't have to listen to it, I won't. If you guys feel like I don't have to listen to it, then I will move on to the rest of David Bowie's solo albums, starting with Black Tie, White Noise. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. You can find me on Instagram and you can find me on Twitter. You can say, hey, how are you? And I'll see you next time. Take care.